So today we're going to be modeling during gardening time. I'm going to share with you 5 different ideas for what you can model while you're in the garden on your Avaz. So let's get started. Number 1, you can model some action words, right? So you want to start off by modeling the word gardening. So let's go to our gardening folder.
Go to home, gardening time.
So you want to model we are
Gardening.
We are gardening. Or if you want to model a sentence, you might say
It's gardening time.
it's gardening time. As you go along and do the different actions in the garden, you could model those. So let's start off with, okay, I think we need to
Water.
water the plant. So as you're watering, you could be modeling that. So let's water the plant. And then after that, like let's say you want to dig up some soil and plant a seed. So you could model that. Let's dig, right? So if you've got a trowel with you, you can dig up some soil. And then after that, if you've got some seeds like I do, as you can see, then let's plant the seeds. So then we'll go ahead and plant them. And then of course, as you continue to watch them grow, you can say, oh look, they are growing. Those are some action words you could model. Now number 2, you can model some describing words. So let's go to the describe folder.
Home. Describe.
So maybe you want to start off by modeling some size, right? So if we go into the size, okay, that plant really looks
Small.
whereas that tree looks really tall, right? And then if we go back, maybe we want to model some quantity, so we'll go into quantity. And then as you're pouring the water, you might say, oh, just pour a little water, right? So you'll say little, you can model that. Then if we go back, you can model the appearance. So you can say like maybe, oh look, this leaf looks really dry. So then we'll model dry. But also you could model some texture words. So let's say you're touching the soil and you're like, oh, that feels really rough, right? Whereas when you touch the plant, that feels really smooth, right? But also once you're working in the garden and maybe at the end of it, your hands get really messy or dirty, and you could model that.
Dirty.
Oh, my hands got really dirty, we need to clean up. So you could model some descriptive words like that. And then finally, maybe you want to model some colors. So I can see
Colors.
I can see some green. I can see some brown over there.
Brown.
So those are some colors that you could model as well. So that's number 2, and that's describing words. Now number 3, you can model some negation, right? So maybe we go back to our home screen. Now as you're watering the plant, maybe you want to say, oh, let's not pour too much, right? Let's not pour too much. Or you want to say, stop watering, that's enough. So you could model some negation words while you're watering. So you might use, let's not pour too much. Or you might say, stop watering. So those are some negation words you could model. Now coming to number 4, you can model some narration, right? So as you're going through the process of planting, so if we go back, if we go to home, gardening time, so maybe you start off with like the seeds. Where are my seeds? So we started with the seed, and then the seed grows. The seed grows into a plant, right? So then the seed grows into a plant. Where's the plant? Oops, I can't find the plant. Okay, plant. There we go. Then the plant grows into a tree. So that way you're modeling like the steps of how it can grow, and you can model the narration all through that. So the seed grows into the plant, grows into a tree. So that's number 4, and that's narration. Now number 5, you can model some fringe words, right? So there are so many things that you see in the garden. So you want to model, oh, I can see a pot, I can see leaf, I can see some roots. But also, like suppose the names of the trees, you could model that. So I'm going to go into my categories.
Categories.
Plants and trees. I see a banana tree.
Banana tree.
I see a banana tree. But also, you know what I see on the ground? I see some...
Go back.
Let's go to animals and birds. Insects. I see some ants.
Ant.
I see some ants on the ground.
Go
And then
back.
of course, like if you have flowers in your garden, you can go into the flowers folder and model that as well. So that's number 5. You can model all the fringe vocabulary that you see in the garden. And that brings us to the end. So I hope you can try out modeling in the garden and let us know how it goes, and stay tuned for more.